For my idea, I come up with a documentary, and is based on a cultural aspect, which is what is Islam and what people think about Islam and how Islam is being represented by the media. It basically explains the difference between the fake Islam, which is the media Islam, and the real Islam. My idea is basically based on, or where it come from is a topic I've always wanted to talk about, is a passion, or a sort of subject that I wanted to talk about or discuss, as I've always wanted. So the documentary explains how the Islam religion is a peace religion, and it's not a violence religion, and it does not promote or discuss anything about violence or terrorism or anything.
Okay, the word Islam actually came from the word salam, peace. And Islam means peace because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our God, and the religion of Islam teach people how to live in peace. Also, the word Islam came from submission to God. Islam means surrender to God and submission to God. Whatever Allah tells us to do, we do it. This is, in brief, the meaning of Islam. And everyone knows the pillars of Islam, the Shahada, or testimony that there is only one God, and the 5 prayers in Islam, and Zakah, or charity, and fasting, and Hajj. This is the 5 basic pillars of Islam. But the word Islam itself means peace, means salam. Even when we salute or say greetings to others, we say assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you. This is the meaning. But this is the literal meaning, but the deep meaning means submission to God.
The making part of my project, I use Canon 5D Mark IV, which is a really amazing DSLR camera, and the reason why I chose that camera because it records such a good quality footages, and is a 4K footages as well. I've used tripods, the lava mics for the interview, another camera which is the Canon 5D Mark II to edit the project. I've used Adobe Premiere 2017 to edit the footages, the lens of 20mm lens and 50mm lens. My personal contribution or role in the project was I was my own editor and director, producer. I planned, scheduled, called the people, called the imam at the mosque, arranged the interview, made sure that everything was planned and explained to the person that we're interviewing, and I made sure that everything was on time and everything was set for the shooting day. I've done my own researches regarding the documentaries. I've watched plenty of documentaries and for this project, but the main ones that stood up for me, it was the documentary on Cardiff living on the street. It was kind of a documentary I kind of liked. It's kind of used the shots that I've actually wanted, and I liked the overview of the city and the buildings of the shots, and exactly what I wanted. And the second documentary was Sharing Ramadan, Cardiff documentary, and all I wanted to get from that one is some similar shots of the mosque. I wanted to get the camera angles, shots, camera movement, and to show inside the mosque as well and outside it, and also give a sense of the place. And the other one is Ramadan in Cardiff, the shots of the Quran and the people, those type of things that I wanted, and the people by me and the Muslims who goes to the mosque. And the last one is Share Ramadan on Press TV UK, Ramadan in Britain, and the shots of the people, or in the Muslim praying and reading the Quran in the mosque, and that's what I actually wanted to put in. I've also researched what songs I want to put in my documentary, and it was more an Islamic nasheed, which is religious music. Challenges in the project, some challenges during my project. One of the challenges were one of the crew members managed to break one of the cameras, lost some footages that we wanted to put in the documentary. Eventually we did overcome it and we managed to film them praying outside, which is amazing, honestly. We also managed to film the women's as well praying. That's the second challenge. We've been told by them to not film them if they are praying or if they are in there. So they asked us to film them only from the back, so they didn't want their faces to be in there. So that was another challenge that we had to overcome. Number of people in the project. Well, my crew was 4 members, including me. I had my DOB and the sound person, director, producer, camera assistant. We were able to work as a team, and I was able to work with them as a team. One of the highlights of the teamwork was managing to film and shoot everything within 4 hours. In the interview, we managed to ask all the questions that we wanted to ask, and the answers that been provided by the Imam was actually what we wanted and more. The amount of time it took me to do this project, planning and researching and scheduling, it took me about 3 weeks. So the first week, all I did was research the type of questions I wanted to ask. The second week, it was doing further researches and scheduling the interview with the Imam. The third week was the shooting week, basically. Improvements in the future. What I would improve about my project is plan effectively or more, improve my planning techniques, ask the Imam to repeat the questions to make it easier for the viewer to understand what is the topic about, and quite actually happy with why I came with it and what the project turned up to be. And I've also have like a high expectations for this documentary towards the future. I am happy, and that is enough for me. This project is like a strong project for me, and it was something that I was passionate and motivated to do, and actually highlights what my thinking is and what I want to do if I want to become a director.